Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, they call themselves Digital Misfits. A look at a very unique marketing company is next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show. Well, when you think about marketing companies, you might have an idea that comes to mind. Some of you might be thinking, madmen and people in suits. And I'm here to tell you that I only wear a suit to impress people. Most of the time, I am dressed down because I'm a creative and I love other creative companies. And my new good friends, the folks from Valynt Digital, are in the studio today. Makayla Mitchell, the Director of Marketing, and Dan Spottsville, the CEO. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yep, thanks for having us.
Yeah. Well, I am so impressed with you, too. I want to start with Valynt. Okay, so tell us, Dan, what Valynt stands for you.
Yeah, so Valynt, it means to be courageous. 5 years ago when I started this agency, I wanted I wanted to build this playground for creatives like myself and Makayla and the other team members that we have here. So it means to be courageous. It takes a lot of courage for me to start this agency 6 years ago. It takes a lot of courage for our team members to be themselves, which I encourage on a day-to-day basis. And then also it takes a lot of courage for our clients to trust us with tens and thousands of dollars every month that we spend on their behalf on these different digital platforms. So that's where it stems from.
And Makayla, you guys call yourself Digital Misfits. So do you show up at a meeting with these Wall Street types? And how does this work?
Well, it's funny because when I very first started, Dan had said something to me as I was in the sales position of you talk to so many different CEOs and that's incredible. As a 24 years old, they're all in suits, they're all looking to raise millions. They all have this idea of what it takes to be a professional. And what I thought was, but I'm just me, they're just people, we're just having a conversation. And so, yeah, we show up in meetings with people who are wearing suits or who are wearing ripped jeans or wearing anything they want to wear because they have a brand, they have a business that's successful, they're successful, we're successful. And I think we learned during COVID too that you can be anywhere, doing anything, wearing whatever you want, being whoever you want to be, as long as you have a skill set and you're an expert in an industry.
And you found a very unique niche, which is helping companies raise money. And we're going to talk more about that in a minute. We want to scroll down the website because I know that you guys are redoing your website, but it does have a nice look and feel of just a cool company. What is it like to work at Valynt?
What is it like to work at Valynt? It is chaotic, but with process and standards centered around that chaos. It's different every day for us, right? Because we're industry agnostic. So we work with different organizations that are looking to raise capital, from aviation to healthcare to SaaS to CBDs to weed to tequila. I mean, you name it, we've probably worked with that industry and helped them raise capital.
Yes. And you guys just started a digital broadcast with us. You guys are working out of our Grandscape location. Let's talk about the digital dive. Makayla, why did you guys start the show?
Yeah, so originally we started the digital dive to almost as a sales conversation that we can use to target our own leads. Now we've changed our podcast that we're going to be that we are filming with you in the studio is Valynt Volumes. And Valynt Volumes is really going to showcase what digital marketing is, what running an agency is like, how to raise capital the new way that we found successful with digital marketing, and really just anything we want to talk about.
Well, and I love it that you guys eat your own cooking. I've run into a lot of people in marketing who aren't doing a good job marketing. So Dan, let's get you in on why the podcast, why do the show.
Yeah, so I set goals for our agency every single year, and one of the top 3 goals this year was to get our brand out there. And what that means for me is showcasing who we are behind the scenes and just really pulling the curtain back and showing somebody how to build a 7-figure agency and how to continue to build that. I just want them to see how it is that we do what we do every single day. And I think that helps with client acquisition too, because people, by the time they come to us and talk to us on like an educational call, not a sales call, they're pretty comfortable with us because they've seen our podcast, they've seen who we are, they've seen a couple of our videos. So the conversation is just more, it's just moved 10 steps forward, by the time we jump on a call. So.
And I love the case studies. I encourage everybody to go to the website and check out some of their case studies. One of my favorite, and we're going to scroll down the page, is True Velocity. Do you want to start with that, Dan?
Sure. True Velocity came to us. They were looking to raise $50 million. If I could make this conversation short, we did it all through digital marketing. We actually have a huge database. This is what makes us very attractive to organizations looking to raise capital. We have access to 10 million accredited investors, 40 million retail, 22,000 families, office contacts. Every PC and VC firm out there, we have their contacts as well too. And we have the capability to take that data, craft a pretty complex digital marketing funnel, and then put it on any app or website that allows for advertising. So when we launch our campaigns, it's not just on like Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Google. It goes on Forbes, it goes on Investopedia.com, it goes to the Weather Channel. It goes anywhere that particular investor is browsing that day. So we're not targeting the platforms, we're targeting the actual person. So we could care less. We let the system and our AI do the heavy lifting.
Sure. And Makayla, let's talk about your passion for excellence, because a lot of digital marketing I call spray and pray and hope something lands. But you guys are very strategic, aren't you?
Absolutely. And to circle into the True Velocity one too, it's like we understood that there wasn't just one message that was going to click with investors. We crafted several different messages for several different audiences. So if there was an investor who was more interested in how True Velocity impacted the military, we wrote to that. If it was about ESG and the impact that it had on the environment, there was that. If it was how it was disrupting the industry or they had so many patents, we wrote to that. So we make sure that in our content that we're creating, we're always making sure that it's not just one message. It's not just spray and pray or A to B testing. It's A to Z testing.
I love that. We're going to show a video here in a second, but I want you to set this up. So this is a liquor company, Dan, that you guys worked with?
Yes, correct. So it's called Tequila Casa Azul. We actually just launched their campaign about 3 weeks ago. This campaign is very successful in a sense that typically we generate about 100 leads from accredited investors the first 30 days when we launch a capital raise campaign. There are over 910 leads in just 3 weeks from accredited investors. Wow. And I talked to Gary last night, we did, right? So he has about 50 plus family offices that already opted in. But the success with this campaign comes from the fact that tequila is a hot investment topic of conversation right now. So you couple that with the videos that we've created, we're putting it in front of the right people at the right time and creating this automated funnel. That's what's creating the success for this company.
Outstanding. Let's go ahead and roll that video.
Bruce Warner spent 10 years perfecting this tequila.
He comes to the United States, no English, no understanding of how we do business. He puts it out there and starts selling it. The rest is history. We have all had negative tequila experiences, but that's because you had bad tequila. This one, on the other hand, changed my world.
We have no additives in our tequila. We are very, very clean tequila, very high quality tequila. It's fantastic.
You can pour it in a glass now and you can just sip it. People are really excited about it. And so we are in the right position for exponential growth, if not more.
But we're only in 3 states. We're just now coming to Texas. We'll be going to Florida soon.
And consumers are going to start choosing our brand because it's a better alcohol.
You got to get a glass. And if you ever see me out, I'll buy you one.
We're going to be in your bars, your restaurants, your liquor stores. We're going to be everywhere. You're going to know our name. And I feel like we're making a difference. Yeah, it's tequila. But tequila makes people happy.
All right, Dan, tell us what you were trying to accomplish when you created that, and what, do you kind of see the whole movie as soon as you start talking to a client?
Yeah, so for in particular with Tequila Casa Azul, when it comes to capital raises, because I've been doing it for quite some time, I understand what the investor is really looking for. There's a couple things investors are looking for. So when a client comes to me and says, hey, look, I'm looking to raise, $5 or 10 or $50 million, I put them through this process. Obviously, extracting out who they are is very important. So even the video that you kind of just shared right now, it really doesn't talk about the investment opportunity. It really showcases the product and the tequila itself, the founders who are behind it, the team that's behind it. And that's how we start to create interest, engage interest of the potential investors initially. But I see it from A to Z when they come to me, if we're able to help them out or not.
Sure. Well, I admire you guys because, customers come to me all the time and say, what's the ROI? And so you're really kind of setting yourself up like, if we don't hit this certain mark, we know what they're paying us. We're going to bring back a multiple. Is that some pressure, Dan?
It's not at this point. It was, I think, when we initially started, niching down in capital raises. But, we call it the ROAS, return on ad spend. Your typical agency is probably between like $2 to $5. I mean, some of our clients are seeing 35, 50. I mean, our agency ourselves are seeing multiples of ROAS of like over $100 because we're a high ticket item agency, meaning that we charge quite a bit of money to raise these capitals, right? So yeah, the return on ad spend is always there for our clients.
All right, Makayla, we're going to give you the final word. Why should somebody do business with Valynt?
I think we're pretty fun, first of all. But we've also just had a lot of success, and we bring a creative approach to where, we excel at acceleration and deployment. And so if you're a business, a brand, a company, insert the blank there, and you're ready to accelerate and put your message right in front of the right people, we're the team for you.
Wow, yeah. I'm so proud of both of you. Congrats on your success. It's well deserved.
Appreciate it.
All right, we're going to end with the website, which is valyntdigital.com. Thanks again. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.